All right, let's see if we got things ready here. Oh, we got audio. We got audio. I think we got audio capture. Okay, let's try desktop. That's you. You're
What?
supposed to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, who the hell is desktop?
Who is
I was
desktop?
like, that would be me.
Desktop has joined the room. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever it is. What's up, Kintaro?
What's up, my dark matter?
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let me just, it's kind of a bit dark, maybe.
I brighten it up. See your lovely, beautiful face.
Well, I am better looking than you, so.
Damn Skippy. Okay, so I just want to point out, started on time, and it looks like the audio is working. Can I get a oh, Mr. Bill says audio's good. Thanks, Mr. Bill. Shout out to you.
Cool.
All
So
right,
we're live.
we are live. Everything is livity live. Dude, what's up, my man? I haven't seen you for a whole week. I've been missing you.
I actually was going to suggest we do this bi-weekly, like every other week, because there's not much updates in like 7 days. So like, I love you, brother, but like, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, especially because we do this on Wednesday my time, Tuesday your time,
Right.
which means there's gonna be a weekend in between. But then there's like, okay, well, it's like
All right, bi-weekly it will be unless there's some big stuff happening.
right, or unless people demand that we do it every week. If people want us to do this every week, then we shall. But warning, the quality of the content will be going down significantly by the week as the months progress. Because like I think our peak content will be like mid-month, but like beginning of the month or end of the month will be like, yeah, it's almost over,
Mm.
or like just started, nothing new.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely don't want to burn out the viewers, those at
Right.
home. So,
Especially not because it's not gonna be some awesome educational content.
oh,
It's gonna be
whatever. We're
it's gonna be
extremely educational. We're gonna be helping people do all sorts of stuff. So,
right. So yeah, so like I said, I think I've beat you last month for new uploads, so
I
that's
think
good.
if I was able to like multiply mine by an exponent, then yes, I could get close to what you did.
So,
Quite
but
significantly, you destroyed
yeah,
me. Yes.
this month I did some yesterday, but my rig was acting up, so it happens. And my rig is streamlined so that debugging in the field becomes really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either on or off. And then I force it to run or not, and then that's why I also carry backup phones. But
So rebooting it just didn't fix it.
no, there was something significantly wrong with,
Okay.
and one of the reasons why is I know why is I changed out a significant important component, uh, one of the adapters that I changed out, and that was probably acting up. And
One of the your wireless adapters.
yeah.
I got
So
you. Our
shit like
miscreant
that happens, right?
says he was told that there would be hot tubs.
Ah, yes,
Uh, we haven't reached that perk yet on Patreon, so go to our
right.
Patreon and sign up. And we're we're
There's also
we're looking for
there's also GoFundMe for that hot tub jacuzzi.
we're searching for the hot tub jacuzzi, and also we're trying to reach that next buy me a coffee link
Buy me coffee. Yes,
status to where we can get
right.
hot tubs. So yeah, definitely smash that like button, subscribe.
That is just
uh,
sad. So
so
yeah.
you had
Oh,
some problems with wireless adapters. Well, a
yeah.
wireless adapter. And when you pack everything into such a compact situation, it's very hard to pull it apart, especially in the field, right? Because you've got everything just ready to roll. So, how
Right.
long did it take you to get back up and going to where you can trust your equipment again?
Well, I'm rebuilding the rig as we speak right now. So um, uh, I'm updating Kali. I'm updating some of the drivers. I'm changing some of the parameters of Kismet, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and so just a quick review. I know everybody in the chat so far is probably been here with us, but what is this box made of that your primary go-to Warwalk and
It's
Throw
just a
box?
Raspberry Pi 4.
Pi 4.
Yeah. With Kali running it. I don't really need Kali, but I started out with Kali and I like Steve, so
Yeah, Steve's
I
pretty
run it.
awesome.
Yeah, Steve is pretty awesome. So, but in reality, there's a lot of things in Kali or Pinto that I don't need because it's purely a Kismet rig.
Mm-hmm.
I could build it on Raspbian too, but it didn't start out as my war walking rig. That's my problem, right? It
Yeah.
was just some test bed that I had to do other things on it, and then I just kind of because I kept adding on to it, it ended up being
Super crazy.
a rare sighting of my rig.
The rare rig sighting.
Yeah, I don't talk about it a lot because there's a lot of components that I wrote about this on Buy Me a Coffee, is that the problem with every time I do a technical write up, then I spend years answering user questions about shit that I have nothing to do with.
Right.
And especially because some of the components in this rigs are they're almost not available anymore. I got them because they were out there in China when I was looking for something else.
Mm-hmm.
This was like years ago, and I'm recycling some of the components.
Right.
So, and then people will be like, "Oh, I want to buy some of yours," and I'm like, "You can't have mine. I bought like," and the thing is, like, I bought like 50 of a specific adapter that I'm using here because I knew half of them would be dead, and it wasn't half, maybe 1/3 of them were like dead
Yeah.
because they're really crappy build and they're super cheap, right? So,
Right. Yeah, that's always hard too, especially when you've got custom components. Yeah, I definitely remember with my custom boxes that I built for my first demo lab at DEF CON. Everybody's like, "What drivers did you use? And what's this
yeah.
did you use?" And I ended up just doing a full write up and just putting out like, "This is exactly what it is, but your mileage may vary." And then there was a lot of people that are like, "I want to build this exact same thing," and it's like, it would be better if you took the concept and went out and tried to build your own. Like, how do you know
And there's
that's
so many write-ups and builds out there already that you could spend like a week research. And if you don't want to do the research, you shouldn't be in this game. Is my thing, right? If you're not willing to spend the time figuring the shit out, then this game isn't for you, man.
Yep.
I still get emails and DMs about the Pocket Chip, a company that has gone under like 3 years ago,
Right.
and people are like, "Well, they never ship my orders." Like, how the fuck am I supposed to help you? It's just like, dude, I'm not the customer support. I waited for mine as much as you did, and when the shit broke, I waited another couple months, and it's like, yeah, all right.
Right. It's hard, like, having a following, a little bit of a following, and then also having and getting into this stuff and then sharing it, because it's definitely can lead to some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
Also, by the
So,
way, can you help me hack into somebody's Facebook account?
yeah, I can. Will I? No. Here's- so like I was like I get this we all get this question, right? If you have a public profile as a hacker, you get this, can you hack my girlfriend's IG or my partner's Facebook or whatever?
Mhm.
And the answer is, one, in my case, you're asking me to commit a crime over international borders. That only not makes it federal, that makes it fucking Interpol level, right? Two, the issue isn't your partner's Facebook or IG, it's the relationship you have. You know, that's like I was one DEF CON I was there, and one of the security guards is like, "Hey, you guys are hackers, right?" They're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Can you fix my credit score?" And I was like, "No." Besides the fact that we're not guilty for that, you fucked it up. That's what I told him. Like,
Oh,
so I mean, it is what it is, but at the same time, um So yeah, there's definitely that. Yeah, go ahead and hack my Facebook. I can't even get into it anymore. Yes, that's precisely how I feel about my Facebook. I don't have one anymore. Um,
Shout out to Low Zenning for subscribing with Prime Gaming.
what the hell is Prime Gaming?
So with Prime, it's a Prime subscription. They get them for free with the Prime, your Amazon Prime subscription. So anyways, freaking rad.
Come on, Mr. Robot.
Thank you
Wipe out my
so
school
much.
loans. No, you fucked that up, Bill. Not me. Why would I? Don't spend all in one place. Yes. Let's go get that hot tub. It's gonna be that above the pool blow up
Oh
pool.
yeah, we've got our
underground.
first donation towards the hot tub, the Prime sub. Savings balance is now 0. Yeah, so it sounds like you guys came here for financial and life advice, so which we are completely certified to give you.
Yes, we are totally. None of this should be considered as financial advice. I think that's actually a crime to be financial.
Wait. Go invest in Doge because Coinbase just listed it. So there, financial advice for the night.
What's the price of chia today?
I don't know, but I still have 2 years left before I get to get any from my hard drives.
So there's your oh shit. Komodo is at 1.6. That's actually pretty fucking high. That means I have about $200.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're rich. Don't spend that all in one place. Hey, right. That's like one. I think hot tubs are about 20 grand, so that's like 1/100th of a hot tub. Getting close, buddy.
Yeah.
Between my Doge and your Komodo, we're gonna go to the moon, buddy. We'll have that hot tub in no time.
Yes, the problem is we won't be around. Or at least I won't be around.
Oh, shoot.
So anyway, next week Amazon Mesh is going to go live in the US.
Oh yeah.
Or is it this week?
I think it's next week, and that's going to be really interesting because I got an email yesterday. I don't know if you saw this email too, and it says, "Do you want internet access from anywhere?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And it's like, "Click here for more information." And I was like, "Wait, what?" So I click there, and apparently, if you have a Prime subscription, you can now get access to internet hotspots that are being turned on thanks to any sort of primable devices like Echoes and Dots and all that type of stuff.
So it's the Echo line and the Ring line, from what my understanding is. So
okay,
it's not the Fire TVs in yet, but
I'm sure they'll push that out soon enough.
Oh yeah, but and then people are like, but it's like 900 megahertz and Bluetooth low energy, right? So and it's only like 800K stream, so I'm like data bit rate. So I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea, but at the same time, it's not a new concept. Fawn did it for a long time. Fonera, you get a Fonera router, half of your bandwidth was public access, and half of it was yours, right? So
right, and that's the whole point behind a lot of the LoRaWAN systems, right? So LoRaWAN's trying to use that 900 megahertz to do IoT stuff, and that can do like up to 50 megabits. Right. So there's also a cryptocurrency that's trying to create itself as an IoT device system. So I think there's a shit ton of people that have a financial interest in setting up hotspots. I don't necessarily know if there's been a mass adoption of IoT devices. They seem to think there is. But that's going to be some of my research I do over this summer. I'm going to start stumbling for the LoRaWAN stuff. I'm really interested in that. But yeah, you're right. And it's interesting because we're getting more of these devices, and it's like more of this information is more and more interesting, right? Because we're getting more diverse ways of accessing the internet, more diverse ways of accessing data, and Amazon's absolutely figuring out more ways to push data to you. So it's like, is there going to be holes in that? Is there going to be stuff that's interesting to look at? Are devices going to leak information? Because how is that connection going to work?
Right.
So
I can't find it. I have a Fonera router up in the box up here. I'll next time maybe. But so the thing is, like, a lot of people are up in arms about it and saying, they're going to share Wi-Fi. Well, kinda and not kinda, right?
Right.
So it's not like they're going to turn your router on. But then again, didn't Comcast for a long time have like the public
They
share option,
still have that. So
right?
yeah, if you have Comcast service and you're within range of any Comcast modem, you can connect to that. So
So yeah, I mean, I guess it's the evilness of Amazon that has people worried about, because their track record isn't superb when it comes to privacy protection.
oh, Cox does the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
interesting.
I would imagine that's advantageous for any cable company to want to do that.
Right.
It's
So,
kind of an added value service. Um, yeah, I'm.
but here's the other thing. I think because of that, if you haven't read it, you should definitely go out and read Damon by Daniel Suarez, because that's exactly what the whole story plot line is almost. Um, it's a great book. I mean, Freedom is okay, but which is the sequel to Damon.
Mhm.
Um, because I'm not a gamer. I guess if you're a gamer, Freedom is interesting.
Mhm.
But I think my top two suggestions are Damon and Change Agent. Those are phenomenal near sci-fi, near future science fiction novels
Mhm.
by Daniel Suarez. So
Yeah, definitely put that in the read list.
yeah, not Matt Damon. Damon as in like the Unix thing. Yeah, Jason Tracy agrees. Jason really like, yeah, it was a great book. It is. Um, Daniel Suarez is I like Daniel Suarez as a writer. Some of them it's a bit too out there for me, but um, Change Agent and but like, yeah, literally because of Amazon Mesh going live and a whole bunch of other IoT shit coming on, um, and router companies have started integrating mesh. Like at home, I have an Asus Mesh,
Mhm.
and I didn't buy the mesh network per
Mhm.
se. I bought a router,
And it just
and then
meshed.
it just meshed with the other router that I had, and I have a mesh.
Well, and there's been routers that have been capable of that for years and
Right,
years.
right.
It's just been trash because we haven't had the bandwidth to
Yeah.
do anything, and we haven't had enough radios because they've been resharing radios, right, to be able
Mm,
to pull off the transparent Mac WP,
right.
WPS. Wait, not WPS. What was it called? Transparent bridging. WDS.
Yeah, yeah.
To be able to do that transparent bridging, and now it's like so easy and synonymous that although there are some problems with it still, it's pretty much vendor locked, right? Because a
Oh
lot of
yeah. I mean,
people do it very proprietary.
right. I mean, it's like the Asus mesh is Asus mesh. It's not compatible with anything else.
Yeah.
Um, and but it's I don't know. It's easier for me than setting up, because I live in like a two-story house.
Yeah.
There are some dead spots in the house that my co-occupants demand broadband. So yeah, so I mean, um, rather than, because I used to have to set up multiple routers, right? Like one in this corner, one in that corner, and then plug this one into the LAN. I had like LAN cables running through the house, which is fine for me, but apparently for some people it's an annoyance. So I've been told to get rid of the wires as much as I can. So
Yeah, that's definitely a nice feature of wireless to get rid of the wires, especially so that way you don't have to do any retrofit and put stuff in walls.
right, so there's that. I mean, so we shall see, I guess, how it goes. I think a year from now, hopefully at Black Hat and DEF CON next year, we'll see a bunch of talks about hacking Amazon Sidewalk or using Amazon Sidewalk to track um,
Well, the
things,
other
right?
thing too is like, is there going to be any new beacons that happen because of it? Now, are those beacons capturable, and are we going to then be able to track
So
those beacons?
right, I
And
think,
like, what does that profile look like? That's what I'm excited. I'm definitely looking to see if I can capture
and
some of
I think
that.
this is going to change the discussion about Bluetooth on Wiggle, because
Yeah,
there are some people who are like, we don't need that, but
right.
and there are some people who's like, well, it's still wireless. It's kind of cool to have that data anyway,
Right.
right? So, but I think with if that mesh network goes live, and because of the fact that it's part of it is Bluetooth low energy, having that data on Wiggle is going to be useful for research.
Right. Definitely
Is it?
agree. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens over the next year.
Right. So
I, for one, welcome our Amazon overlords.
I mean, it's the question: is your overlord going to be Apple, Amazon, or Google? Right.
Right now,
I will not accept Facebook as my overlord.
right now I pay homage to all three. Although I am looking like a lot at an Oculus, so that means that I'm gonna have to have a Facebook god in my
Dude.
life to get an Oculus.
Yes, I have an Oculus VR, the Go one, the standalone one.
Yeah.
The first one, not the second one, and I love that thing. But I don't. I mean, I could set up a sock account for Facebook, I guess, but that seems too much of a hassle for for a device, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, no, that thing is cool. I like it. There's some great content out there. Fun too. So
Yeah, the over the pandemic with the alt spaces, the alt space VR conferences stuff, I've really wanted to check into that because that really looks really interesting. I
oh
know
yeah, the
there's been some
Quest.
really cool
Yeah,
stuff.
Quest. I like I said, um, I I'm so old. I remember VR in the browser. Um, um, and no, I had fun. There's a lot of interesting and cool content, and like some of the look thing is like I will never go climbing. Um, it's one thing I will not do. Um, that seems too much exercise for me. But I love climbing movies and videos. So having the ability to use the Oculus Quest to jump on top of Lotte or Jenu, two of my favorite mountains in the Himalayas,
Yeah.
it was just amazing to look up. And there was a good climbing game too. So which
Yeah.
is kind of weird when you play it because you're like in the living room going like, oh, I'm climbing this cliff, just like look like a drunk spider dancing. Like,
You know, what'd be crazy is if there was like a VR adaptation of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That would be next level.
see, the thing is, I was never a Zelda fan.
Oh, forget you
I was a
then.
Dragon Quest, which
Oh, I like
they
Dragon
just
Quest. Yeah.
they just announced 12 coming. They haven't announced
Really?
the date yet, but they have a trailer out now.
Oh
And
wow.
this one supposedly going to be really dark, and it will have multiple endings, and like it's going to be like open world and choice based endings and stuff like that. And
Crazy. What is that going to be on Switch?
well, here's the kicker: they haven't announced the platform.
Oh, interesting.
So it used to be on Nintendo, then it went to PlayStation,
Yep.
I think, and then it went to the Switch. So who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Did you see
uh,
Room VR? I don't know what Room VR was. I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, how long do you think until we get to see Wiggle in VR? Somebody should work on that.
how would that work?
Hey, you'll walk down Street View with all the SSIDs showing, just like
It's like you see the radiation and you're just like, ah, I'm getting cancer and COVID from the wireless.
Daniel Suarez, not Matt Suarez, Daniel Suarez. You're mixing Matt Damon and Daniel Suarez. So, but yeah, no, I mean, um, we'll put it in the show notes. Are we gonna have show notes on this thing? I don't know, but
Does Twitch allow show notes?
I don't know. We'll put it up on somewhere, I
Yeah,
guess.
put it up on your YouTube or
Yeah,
send it to
I
me
will.
and I'll upload it, or we both can, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Oh yeah, the new Wiggle update has some cool new maps. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So there's that.
Somebody in the chat, I think it was Mr. Bill, said that the Kismet has a new update. Is that true?
Yeah, Kismet release came out. It was like what, last week or so? Or was
Really?
it 2 weeks? But shout out to Kismet, always the gold standard.
6R1, release R1.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Let's see what's happening in the release notes. It's a bit of a strange release. Oh, I always love to hear that.
Yeah.
There have only been a few changes. They're so significant that it's called an R2 release. Calling it an R2 wouldn't make. Bug fixes. Kismet to PCAP for older DB logs. Handling DB versions. Handling nested where in SQL Bridge. And some other minor bug fixes. Nice. So go get the latest Kismet and enjoy yourself with some new Kismet goodness. I sure, for one, am super excited by the latest.
Yeah. So I think so. Like I said, like we continue to say, now is a great time to get into wireless war driving and war walking.
Yeah, especially when you get stuff like this. The new Intel Wi-Fi 6. Where's my camera at? There we go. Wi-Fi 6 Gig Plus.
Ooh.
This is the AX200 series wireless cards. The PCIe or M.2. Man, that light is really bright on there.
It's Wi-Fi 6 gig, not 6G. Well, I guess it's 6G.
6G, baby. We're going to 6G. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this thing. I'm going to build a new rig for my recently accepted Black Hat talk and DEF CON talk. Officially, I heard back from DEF CON. I got accepted from DEF CON too, so I'll be speaking at both places.
Oh, snap.
Well, I guess not speaking, demoing.
Are you doing DEF CON demo labs again?
Yep.
So it's not the main stage. I'm just saying.
Nope, not main stage. That was a one-time trick pony. Not a one-trick pony, a one-time trick pony.
Does it come with vaccination drones? Hey, Gilles, I know you're going through some pain. Hope you get better soon, brother. So.
Yeah, take care, yo.
Anyone try Kismet in Cube's OSVM? No. I run Kismet Bear because I'm gangsta like that. It doesn't focus like shit, man.
Like,
see, you're supposed to do that the thing the YouTubers do thing.
I'm supposed to have the
go like the hand
is
in
that
the back.
The secret?
Yeah, so that it has a bigger surface for focus. See? Wait, is that shiny?
It's see-through. Oh, dude, why am I sucking at this so hard? There we go.
Close.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, well.
Anyways, that's this thingy. I've got 24 of them coming at you, so see if I can get all of them to work together. Play nice.
Focus. Cheech and Chong. I love our viewers. I really do. There's some crazy bunch of people here.
Of course.
All right, now you got the cursor sticking in my face. I'm gonna see if I can move my face into the cursor. Wait, which way is it? Oh, there you did. Stop moving.
Hold on. It's gonna pick your nose. Ah, it's on your tongue. How does it taste? Oh, this is my first time ever running OBS.
It's salty, man.
So that's some big stuff coming up the next couple of months. Hopefully get that project built out. You guys want a sneak peek of the case that I'm going to be using?
Of course.
Sneak peek action of case action.
Here, now hold on before you show it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like this black case with shit sticking out in it.
There's gonna be no shit sticking out of it.
Oh, oh, oh.
It may have some LEDs attached to it though.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
To answer Giles' question, these are $20 on Amazon Prime, so they're super cheap. Just like that. I'm excited. It's gonna be tiny. It's gonna be so compact, and I'm gonna have an i9 in there. It's gonna be i9, freaking massive. It's gonna be all PCI Express. Got some cards for my friend up in Canada, Alex, and also known as the Airbud guy. Shout out to him. He's hooked me up with some connector boards that are gonna be able to make some magic stuff. So.
RF Miscreant says, "Will it be a soft CD case with Spice Girl CDs in it?" Yes.
You heard the thud? That's got to be like at
Yes.
least Chumbawamba.
Right. Dark matter is the Chumbawamba of the Wi-Fi world.
The whole system's gonna be DC based, so I'm gonna be using lithium ion batteries because I've had the most success with lithium ion over the years. They're easiest to charge. They're the least likely to start a fire in my house. Literally almost burnt my house down once.
Yeah.
I love their charge cycles. So, and I can run.
So Spike Rush has a question: does the number of antennas matter in a low density environment while walking? Well, yes and no. I mean, it depends on how many radios you actually have, right? Not the number of antennas.
Right.
Because the more radios you have, the more you can focus them on channels. And the longer they stay on a channel, they're more likely to be able to capture things that you might miss when it hops. So, but it's a trade-off. Like, like the Wi-Fi Cactus has what, 26 radios? No, it has 26 pineapples, so 52 radios, right?
There you go.
Right.
25 pineapple.
Oh, right. So 50 radios.
Yep, 50.
And that's.
But it only did 802.11n.
Right.
But it did do 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So.
Right.
So that's capture.
But that's four antennas per, right?
Yeah, four antennas per box.
So that's 100 antennas.
Yep.
Right. So.
The motherboard. It's not the motherboard that I'm going to be using. For the. It's a breakout card. Here, I'll pull it up on Tindy.
What kind of motherboard takes that many M2 cards though? Yeah, well, it's not. There's a PCI breakout board.
Yeah, and so this is the. Sorry, Kintara, I'm still in your face for a second.
Well, time to get naked then.
Yeah, naked time. So this is the board. Let's see. There we go. This is the board. It's on Tindy. A guy named Alex, he has a company called Airbud, is the one that creates it. So shout out to him. But it basically has a PCI Express bridge underneath this blue chip, and then that is able to split it out so that you can hook up more on there. And so I'm going to be running a couple of these cards into an Intel NUC. So I'm able to break out two M2s from a Intel NUC, M.2s into it, so I can get basically 8x PCI Express connected out to here. So ultimately, the bottleneck is going to be this card. This card's going to be a bottleneck, obviously, because we're piping 12 PCIe cards through a single 4x PCIe slot, and it's only PCI Express 2.0. But these are pretty cool. Shout out to Alex. Go support him on Tindy if this is something that's interesting to you. I guess if we have show notes, we'll post a link in there. But Alftel, I keep calling him Airbud, but he creates a product called the Airbud, which is a crazy wireless device. But he also goes by Alftel is the name of his company. He's based out of Canada, super fast shipping. I think he does pretty much everywhere in the world. I've been really happy with it. He sent some out to the Wireless Village guys, and they seem to be happy with those cards. Zero has done some fun projects where he put one of those in a Thunderbolt Thunderbolt 3 breakout box, and so then you're able to externally connect your wireless cards to it. So yeah, it's pretty dope, pretty cool stuff. 350 bucks. It's a little pricey, but the chip itself that's on there is like $100, and the design costs and stuff that went into it. But if you're trying to get into mass wireless capture, try and do 12 radios at once, I'd highly recommend it. So
yeah, and Gilles mentioned that he built one using a M5 stack matrix 2. I've seen that. It's a pretty cool project. The M5 stack is an interesting product that will help for the 2.4 at least. I don't think it does 5G yet, but Jeff Gerling will probably make it work on an RP4. Yes, probably. So here's the other thing I wanted to talk about, which brings up, this is a good segue. So somebody yesterday asked me what my hobby was. And I was like, I don't know if I have one, because I don't know the definition of a hobby. I would like, for me, a hobby is like people who do model train sets, but are accountants kind of thing.
right.
Right. So, it's like, hacking is my life. It's not something I separate from my life as something to relax on.
Right.
Neither is war walking or doing all of this stuff that we do, right? Like,
yeah.
and like me building a backpack came out from my need to have a backpack. So it wasn't like I'm gonna build backpacks for fun. It's just like I needed a lighter backpack. So I mean, like,
No, I feel you. I found today somebody on Twitter had put how to avoid infosec burnout, and they had like all these suggestions, and I'm like I get that. And one of them was like, take the weekend off and do something different, and I'm like, I get it. But what happens if not only is like hacking and infosec is not just your passion, but it's also your hobby, it's your life, it's like what you do, what you think about, it's like what you're trying to create projects for, it's what you're trying to speak at conferences for, it's what you're trying to get jobs for, it's like all these parts.
yeah, and
It's literally my life, and so I'm like, oh, am I doing it wrong? Like, I don't know. It was kind of interesting to see that. I definitely understand people getting burnout, and I definitely understand it. But I felt burnout on different types of things. Like I've definitely felt burned out on coding, right? Like you get to a point where you're writing code and something's not working, you're debugging, and you're just bashing your head against it. Burnout. Totally get it. Totally understand that. Then it's like, okay, well I'm gonna start throwing hardware in a box, or I'm gonna try to make PCI Express go faster, or I'm gonna try to make storage devices melt. It's like there's so many different components to it for me that it's like I don't know. Maybe it's just my ADD takes over.
but here's the thing. Like, I burned out when I was working in the ad agency world, because I was like, I had enough with the world. But during those times, I wasn't doing the things I'm doing now, right? So I'm like, I was an ad agency guy that worked in the ad agency industry for over a decade. What I did outside my job was either get drunk, obliviously drunk,
Mm-hmm.
or spend all my earnings gambling.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, are those hobbies? I don't think so. They're vices that ruined my life to a certain degree and caused me burnout. Then I quit. I went solo, and my job is a translator, but part of that translation is technical translation. So I need to learn about the latest exploits and the latest advances in technology and things like that. So and then I started building stuff because I was like, well, it's probably healthier than getting drunk every day. Where you have a problem when the hours you're drunk are longer than the hours you're awake. you know.
Yeah, definitely understand.
So
and honestly, it's like you fill it with something now that could be a vice and you could spend lots of money on and could be a problem. But hey, it ends up being cool. You end up making cool stuff, And then
right, no,
for
but
me, it's like I'm proud of it, right? Like let's say because I love blackjack. I'm a huge like if I could go to Vegas every day and go play blackjack, I probably would. And it's like rather than doing that, I would spend the money on some wireless cards, building some things up, and then like that is way more rewarding. And then looking at a box that I built, and then driving around with it, and like seeing things actually work, it just different level. You know, it just speaks to me. It just hits different chords in my soul. You know, and it's like that's the stuff that's missing. I think when you're just sitting down at a table playing blackjack.
And here's the thing, like war walking for me has become such an obsession that I don't have a healthy relationship with it, right?
Sounds like me and
So
Pokemon.
so so I think to call something a hobby, you have to be able to detach yourself from it, right? Where you can say like, I'm going to put this away, I'm going to be responsible. That doesn't happen with me and war walking. Like even if I'm doing shit, I'm like, oh, maybe I can update my kismet, or like maybe I can look for this new adapter that I want, or this part that I need. So right. So
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and like I'm looking at Wiggle trying to find new routes. I literally am like I'm like finding like um never ascended routes on the mountains kind of thing, like oh, I see a way to walk right past this thing and then take a left there,
Yeah.
right? So I
Yeah,
don't
I've
know.
definitely spent a lot of time just because I haven't been able to get out a lot, like looking at all of the different uncovered routes. Even if it's not the most points to throw up into Wiggle, it's like, no, I want to try to get more thorough. Um yeah.
Yeah, Rogue Zero, that was me. I did war walking Littlefinger.
It wasn't just made it, but you made it towards me. Let's be honest.
Well, shit, I mean, like like I will never win against a car war driving, right?
Right.
But
Well, I don't know. You probably would actually in Tokyo.
well, true. But also, the amount of coverage that I can get on a day, I will never beat a car. I will get by density. So, like, physical area coverage, a car will beat me.
Hmm.
But device coverage, I might have the advantages because I get to go to smaller, tighter places, um, and spend just a second longer enough. Because I found that war walking is actually advantageous for me because my speed of walking is just fast enough that when it hops, channel hops, I get another device loaded on, right? So I'm not out of the area before it does cycle hop.
Right.
So um, bike is king. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, biking would be fun. And not
Right.
only that, that gives you additional payload options too,
Mhm.
right? Like you could add on some bigger batteries, you have more room to mount stuff.
I
I've
mean, especially
definitely
with
thought
the
about war driving.
electronic bikes, right?
Yeah.
Like uh, Tokyo has this community cycle, which are these electronic assist bikes, and they're fucking awesome.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like, but at the same time, like because of the density of Tokyo, a lot of it is vertical, and I like to be able to hug the buildings. So, you know, um,
Um, Aramond 2001 asked, "Does it pay to hop less or hop more?" It really depends on what you're trying to get. If you're
right,
trying to get more data, like full frames, trying to actually see like full capture of what's happening, then you'd want to hop less. But if you're just trying to get the beacons or the beacons, or even just probe requests, then you'd want to just spend as little time on channels as possible, so that way you can cover more spectrum, so that way you don't miss anything. So I guess it comes down to what your what your whole basis is for capturing the data.
yeah, and also like, you know, the question is, are you doing wireless surveillance, site surveillance, not surveillance, but site surveillance,
Mm-hmm.
or are you doing war walking, which are two different things, right? If you're doing site surveillance, you want to spend a day hopping to find out where everybody is at,
Mm-hmm.
and then you spend another day focusing on those active channels
Mm-hmm.
to get more data, right?
Yeah, and I've actually done that on engagements where the first day go out there with as many radios as possible, hopping as fast as we can, and you go around, you try to capture whatever information there is. Then you find your in-scope targets, and once you do that, you set your channels to those in-scope targets. and then go back and just cover the same distance and try to capture handshakes, try to capture any sort of clients, depending on the type of scope. Maybe do some deauth, watch the deauth happen, see if you can get the reconnect with the handshake, all that fun stuff. So, and then the
Yeah.
other thing too is like sometimes there's clients like I was helping on engagement with a hospital, wireless engagement with a hospital. There's clients that would randomly just wake up from sleep after like 6 hours, right? And it's like completely intermittently. You wouldn't even realize it. And if we weren't sitting there just watching on the channels, we would have never saw those units come up. And they happen to be luckily the most vulnerable units. So, you know, in the second phase of that, which is the surveillance portion of it, then you want to stick on channels. You don't want to be hopping. You want to stick to it. So you can kind of devise a game plan by doing that initial reconnaissance and then move farther into it. So
Yeah. So um, it depends, right? And like I said, like my focus is on wiggle points. Yes, there are fake internet points. I understand that, but it's a good enough reason for me to go out and. I mean, there's only a few things in the world that I can claim to be a world ranker. Just like I look at all these guys jogging and running behind me or past me and go like, well, shit, but I'm a world ranker. So um, it's either that or the smallest dick contest. I think I can rank, but well, there goes our 4 kids channel disclaimer.
Oh,
But
jeez. I think we have the over 18 box checked.
right. So, but I think like a lot of people, you know, forget what it is that they're trying to achieve, right? Or what are they
Yeah,
trying to do? And then based on that, this whatever is going to change. So
yeah. Okay, Giles, real quick, I just want to know, are you referencing a queen bee? Because that was like a fire TikTok that I saw today.
do you carry like queen bee as in
Okay,
like
okay,
which
so
queen bee are we talking? Are we talking about Nicki Minaj, the new queen bee,
no,
or are
no,
we
no,
talking the
no,
old one?
like a legit queen bee in a box. So there was
Oh,
this TikTok today. Let me see if I can cover it well. There was somewhere a swarm of bees ditched their hives and they swarmed it an apartment complex on like a cover over a patio cover, right? Just an umbrella. And it swarmed up there. Everybody's freaking out because they're bees. So they send in this lady that's like a bee girl, and she went in there and she just started picking them up and moving them into a beehive. And then she took the bee, she's like, "Oh, I just have a queen bee in my pocket," and pulls it out. And if they murder the queen, then that means they reject it, and she'd have to try another queen. But she had like, if they accepted it, then they would move into the new hive, and she was able to transplant them. uh yeah, it was freaking amazing, so that was pretty dope. But anyways, no, I do not carry a queen in my pocket, but now I want to. And I'm sure Katara wants to carry the original queen in his pocket.
I have the queen, alien queen. So yes, 100 top 100 on Wiggle is a goal of mine too. I'm at 130 right now, so uh,
Let's look at rankings today, shall we?
hopefully within this year I'll break into the 100.
Let's see. Stats. Oh, I gotta log in. Yeah,
Well, I can.
if you should, of anybody should be able to break into that super
I'm
fast.
130. No, here's the thing though, like from 1,000 to 500 is easy
Yeah.
because of there's so many dead users, but after 130, I think 140 is a huge barrier because they're above 140. They're the hardcore guys who are like constantly uploading like 100,000 new findings. So it, you know, um, I was talking to the Wiggle guys, and there are people who are long haul drivers who will just upload insane amounts of drops at the end of the month. So
Yeah. Where's the Oh, there we go. I was like, where's the rankings at? So where are you at right now? So I'm 417 right now.
I'm 130.
You're 130.
Yeah. So
Yep, there he is. Moving up. Moving on up. Mind if I show it?
no, but I don't care.
Moving on up. Yeah, so it looks like 1.1 million networks. Yeah, and it changes rather rapidly, right?
Yeah, like at the end, like 2 days ago, I was 5th for the month because I just walked a lot last month.
Shout out to Aardvark, number 5th in the world. Still
He used to
holding
be number
strong.
3rd, right? So
Yeah.
he's slowing down a bit these
So
days.
there's two. So the CCIE 4526. I don't know who that is. I've like surmised that it's like a computer science course somewhere. Um, and then number one anonymous. Like
Yeah, that's everybody who doesn't set up their account. So
no, it's a person, dude. It's literally a person named Anonymous. Don't buy into
oh,
that.
right. I thought it was the hacker collective known as Anonymous.
Maybe it is. Maybe they're the ones getting out there. Oh, look, Arkasha is moving up. Damn.
Yes. Grimace is 27, so that's huge.
Yeah, nice job, Grimace. Freaking killing it.
Grimace is the fucking man.
Oof. Yeah, there's some big names on that list for sure. I definitely want to move up on it. My goal is to be top 200 for this year. I'm gonna see if I can break top 200.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I can finally travel again freely without feeling like I'm gonna die. And
or being vaccine entitled. Is that what you're saying?
that's exactly what I'm saying.
So yeah, I have about another 28,000 to go. So I think if I have a good month, couple good months, I'll break into that. But then again, everybody else will be catching up too. So it literally is.
Yeah,
Infinite.
any of the people that upload at the end of the month, yeah, forget them. That's bullshit.
It's also like the higher the ranks they are, the more constantly they're uploading. There's like very rare people who are in the top, I guess, who are in the top who haven't uploaded. I think there's like maybe one or two that the last upload was in 2020, and the rest is just like constant every.
So Kim taught me to like basically upload around every like 15 minutes, and just so that way, because what happens is sometimes in the Wiggle app, well, it used to be more frequent, but you could have crashes, you could have issues,
Yeah.
you have corruptions or something. So the more frequently you're updating or uploading, it's just you're always cashing those in. But I also understand like the strategy of wanting to wait and then try to jump back in. But we have a couple of questions. How long have you been doing Wiggle?
Well, I've been doing it for a while, but I only registered an account like in 2017, I think.
After
Before that,
some prodding and pushing.
before that, I was just anonymous, and I just didn't care about the ranking. And then I registered my account, and then I'm just all obsessed about it. So yeah, 2017 is when I registered my account post. Before that, I spent maybe 5 years or so as anonymous. How long have you been at it?
Since 2017.
Yeah.
So I think it was at DEF CON in 2017. It might have been 2016 when I first got into it, but 2017 is really where I started getting serious, and then 2018, 2019.
So Lausanne, yeah. On the Android app, you can use a macro app to upload on intervals. Like you can set up a macro to upload to Wiggle every 15 minutes or so.
I think we had another question there too. Let's see.
How many miles a day is that on average? Well, here's the thing. When I started in August doing this war walk seriously, thanks to Grimace, shout out Grimace. I started out at 2 kilometers, so that's roughly 1.8 1 mile. But and then I grew, and now I'm on an average I'm about 10K a day, so that's about what 8 miles a day. And then once a week I do a long one, which is over 15 kilometers or closer to 20 kilometers. So that's about 10 miles, 10 to 12, 14 miles, I think, something like that.
Dude, Mr. Bill, that's dope. You started in 2007. That's awesome. I didn't realize you'd been on Wiggle for that long. That's freaking
Well,
dope.
Mr. Bill is old as fuck. So. He doesn't want to hear shit from me, who's old as fuck too. So.
Oh, I realize that I'm getting old too.
Yeah.
Oh, data plans. What's your data plans like? Verizon Unlimited, T-Mobile Unlimited is what I've got. What I'm rocking. I'm rocking the original Verizon Unlimited from 2006 or 2007. I've been on that plan since the beginning. Verizon's Unlimited, so, and then T-Mobile's my backup, and international.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I mean, one thing that Grimace taught me was that persistence wins the game. Like literally last year in the wireless village, wireless CTF war driving competition, Grimace spent 3 days practically living in his car, war driving, according to him. So, and it wasn't like some fancy like 25 radios on a backpack kind of setup. He just he had a laptop and a couple of adapters, is what he told me. And he just kept living in his car for practically for the 3 days, getting coverage. So, you know, yeah. See, Bill, you're not helping the fact that proving that you're old as fuck. He's like, I ran Kismet on a Zarus with a CF Wi-Fi card. I'm sure out of that sentence, there are 2 words that people are like, what the fuck is a Zarus? What the fuck is a CF Wi-Fi card?
Oh man, that's a single core, maybe
Yeah.
a dual core
Yeah,
Dell laptop.
right. So I mean, like Mr. Bill says, yeah, I have a couple phones that are seamless too, and I just upload it once I get home. You can with Android, you can script it so that whenever there's upload capability, it can upload. But I don't like to stop, so I'm just like, when I get home, I plug everything in and upload it. So how does Wiggle detect the same Wi-Fi 2 days in a row? Does it update? Yeah.
Yeah, they take they also look for closeness. So if you like, so where Kentaro's war walking, and if I drove by, odds are he's going to be closer to the target than I am. And so it actually pick his as the point that gets picked out on the Wiggle map over my point. They do some pretty interesting um trilateration, and they do some different things to be able to pick that up. Maybe sometime we'll have to see what sort of info that Arkaja would give us. Ark would give us on invite him on and see if he'd give us some info. But when we had our chats for the wireless challenge, that the gauntlet that me and you are gonna throw down eventually, or the next wireless adventure that happens, there was definitely some really interesting info about how they determine location for where the wireless the signal the signal strength, and also where you detected it at. So
Yeah. So and then your phone doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. You can pick up some used Samsungs, or I like the Pixels.
yeah, I've been rocking S7s for a long time. Before that, I was using Samsung S5s. So
Red Bull, I want sponsorship. I want I want to be the first sponsored War Walker by Red Bull.
And if you get sponsored, I want to get access to some Red Bull events.
Well, we can probably. So there's a lot of ways you can do that, right? So.
Well, we've been about an hour, man. Anything else you want to cover?
Yes. So last question for everybody watching: do you want us to do this weekly, or is every other week fine?
We are getting more viewers, so
That's because we actually promoted this shit unlike last time.
we've had more consistent viewers than all of our 3 streams combined previously. So maybe we keep doing this.
Well, let's look. Come on.
Let me look at my calendar real quick. Let's see. What's next week look like? Dude, I can do next week. I ain't got nothing on the calendar, so.
Well, hold on. I might actually have some. I know I can't do it on the 1 week in June because I got like a whole online course I have to do. Next week is fine, but the week after that I'll have to skip because I have trainings for a whole week that I need to translate. So.
Plus, I have another project that I'm working on building out. I'll give you a sneak peek for. I'm gonna start being a Uber Eats delivery driver, delivery person. I got a backpack. Thanks to Guitaro, helped me pick out a backpack. So there might be some remote Uber eating delivery service happening. You'll just have to see what's inside.
No,
stay tuned.
That will be epic. All right, so we'll do it next week again.
Okay.
Because then the following week I have to skip because I got shit to do. So.
Okay. All right. Well, you have some good luck with your hardware. Hopefully, you get it repaired and are able to kick some ass on getting some Wi-Fi scanned. And I'll do the same. I'll see if maybe I can take a road trip and actually do something that maybe is less than 100 times less than you. See if I can actually break double digits of capture, like get into the 10,000s.
So anybody who's starting out, make sure you register your account because it's definitely worth it. It's fun things and it's bragging rights. And,
yeah, and share with us where you're at and how you're doing and what hardware you're doing. Share pictures on Twitter.
We'd love to
on
my GitHub. There's an image that you can use an ID printer to print your own Wiggle card, which is not licensed, but it's recognized.
It's Wiggle recognized.
Yes,
you can't
it's not the official.
Better than that,
right? It's so. Keep hacking, keep doing shit. Don't be a critic. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
All right. I love you guys. Love your faces. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Peace out.